Welcome to this amazing session of composting and learning about bioenzymes. Who else than our own Dr. Suman Govil? She's a PhD in botany from Delhi University. She retired as senior advisor from Department of Biotechnology, Government of India. She was a vegetarian, and she took to milk, curd, chas, paneer, butter, ghee. And then she developed hyperthyroidism, ovarian cysts, dysfunctional uterine bleeding after her daughter's birth. So she had to undergo hysterectomy when she was only just 35. Her uterus and both ovaries were removed. She developed severe cervical spondylitis, and a whole body bone densitometry showed osteoporosis in severe to profound category. She was prescribed alternate hormone therapy, osteophos, and many calcium supplements. It led to calcification and cyst formation in her breast. She also developed hypertension when she was just 50 and beginning of arthritis in knees. She was taking Telma, Relista, Jointic, TN Super, and many more other supplements. She then, along with her husband, in 2018, joined Sharan. As we all know that when we really want to do something to heal ourselves, the universe conspires us to get into that place, right? Then now, after doing the Sharan retreat, she's off all medication in just a few months of following this lifestyle. She got more energetic. She has lost 16 kgs of weight. She has come down to 2 sizes from XL to medium. Wow, Sumanji, you inspire all of us. Just because she's been following this lifestyle now for more than 4 years. Her bone density has improved. C-reactive protein, which is an indicator of inflammation, came down drastically. Hypertension is under control, and cholesterol levels have also reduced substantially. Who else than such an inspiring woman, Dr. Suman Govil, with us today and talking to us about kitchen basics, composting, bioenzymes, and inspiring each one of us to reduce our carbon footprint. So not me talking anymore. Over to you, Mr. Suman.
Thank you for very generous introduction. Of course, it's a pleasure to be with all of you. I, in fact, joined Sharan because my son and daughter-in-law encouraged us to become vegan to solve our health issues. So we went for this 3 weeks retreat. And there we learned, how dairy industry was so cruel. I mean, we'd never realized those aspects before. So when we realized that, then and there we left dairy, and gradually we started reaping health benefits. Like Shalini told you, we are off, both of us, even my husband is off medications, and we are much more energetic and much lighter. So how did it all happen? In fact, Sharan has a 5-point plan, which is, you have to be totally plant-based. So no animal products, not even dairy. No milk, no ghee, no chach, no butter, no dahi. And then we have to be whole. So we are not taking any refined products. So we are taking whole dals with chilka, sabji with chilka. So we don't peel our vegetables. We only peel our fruits like mango or pomegranate or pineapple, which you can't eat. And then we are taking, as far as possible, all organic products. Why organic? Because, the farmers are spraying lots of chemical pesticides and fertilizers, and also using weedicides to remove weeds. And there are ripening agents like carbide to ripen the fruits. They don't ripen on the tree, but they ripen in the boxes. So all these chemicals are entering into our body and also in our soil and in water. So they are destroying the whole environment. That's why we try to take organic products as far as possible. And of course, we have to get our vitamin B12 and vitamin D checked frequently and supplement, because all of us need, although vitamin D is supposed to be sunshine vitamin, but we don't get so much sunshine because of our lifestyle. So we need to supplement. So these are the 5 principles which have helped us improve our health. And of course, we are much more, environment friendly and reducing our carbon footprint. So since I come from botany background, I thought, let me, try to do some kitchen gardening. I was doing gardening all the time, but I was not doing any edibles earlier. So now I've started growing our greens. And Dr. Nandita emphasizes that we should all start our day with green smoothie. Why green? Because it's only the plants which have the capacity to produce food. So the plants are primary producers. And how do they do it? They have chlorophyll pigment in their leaves. So with the help of chlorophyll pigment in their leaves, carbon dioxide from air and water from soil and other minerals from soil, as well as sunshine from sun, they are able to produce carbohydrates. And every other human or animal is a secondary, we are all consumers. So we are not producers. So if we have to consume, why not consume the direct producers? So that's the principle behind this. And of course, this chlorophyll pigment is also very structurally similar to hemoglobin in our blood, which has oxygen carrying capacity. So basically this hemoglobin, is very important for us. And since chlorophyll and hemoglobin are very similar, except for the magnesium and iron being different, the green smoothie really makes your day, it's like energy shot. If you take it in the morning, you are done for the day till you want to take your lunch. And if you want, you can take some fruits. It also helps you to take raw nutrition, and raw fruits and vegetables are all nutritionally dense. So we are not destroying the nutrition when we are taking them raw. So that's the best food we can have. In the last class on basics of kitchen gardening, we had seen how to, make your own pots, how to make potting mix, and how to sow seeds, and how can you make some fertilizers using the objects or things which you have at home. In this class, we will be learning how to do composting and also how to produce bioenzyme so that we can reduce the chemical consumption. I'm sure all of you would agree with me that waste management is a serious problem facing the humanity. And in India, this problem is very grave. I live in a city called Delhi. And Delhi, we are 31 million people, and we produce about 62 tons of waste, domestic waste. As you would know that our domestic waste comprises of one component, which is biodegradable, which is like, kitchen waste, fruits and vegetables waste. Then we also have garden waste, which is biodegradable, and even paper is degradable. And there are other components of waste, like, electronic waste. We have electric waste, like we have bulbs, CFLs, LED, lamps, and so on. And of course, we have construction waste, construction debris, which is inert waste. So there are categories of waste, but we can do nothing much about those waste. But at least the biodegradable waste, which is about 30 to 40% of our waste, we can do something. So we need to take responsibility, and most of the audience are actually highly enlightened and have taken responsibility, and they are, feeding the fruits and vegetable peels to cows, or, they are degrading, some are doing by composting. So what we will be doing, how we can do this at our level. So we have to take our mindset, change our shift in our mind from just being generators of waste to treaters of waste, so that we reduce the burden on landfills. Because at least if we reduce the burden on landfills, we can do this. So I will be showing you how you can do this. There are two ways. One way is that residential welfare associations can dig composting pits in the parks, in the society, wherever we live. And another way is we can do it at home. Several companies are also selling, these composting bins, like Trust Basket has one, Slim Homes has one, there are Agasa, there are lots of companies, and they also send you the microbes which do the job along with the bins. But we can also do in normal buckets or normal plastic dabbas or drums which we have after using the paints and other stuff. So I will be showing you in a transparent box today so that you can see. But generally, I would advise that you don't take a transparent box because the sunlight can directly affect it. So normally we should put it in diffuse sunlight, and aeration is very important and moisture is very important. So these are the things which are needed for composting. So you need a box or bin, you need waste, you need kitchen waste, you need garden waste, and of course you need air and water and microbes to do the job. And even if we don't have microbe accelerator cultures which the companies are selling, we can still do it. I will show you how to do it. So this is a box which I have taken. So we need to make some holes in this box so that there is aeration. So I will be showing you how to make these holes, and then we will be putting different layers of our waste. So I've just put the soldering iron to heat. So we will make holes at different places with the soldering iron. So the soldering iron is still heating. So, apart from doing the composting, we can also take other 5 R's, like responsibility is one. And of course, we can do, reduce the waste. We can reuse the waste. We can recycle the waste. And we can recover useful items from waste and also refuse. Like if you buy some gifts, maybe we don't need wrapping paper. When you have guests at home, please do not get plastic bottles for serving water or juices. So you can serve in glasses, steel glasses or water glasses, so that we do not increase these bottles. Have you ever imagined that one plastic bottle which we use remains for 450 years? 450 years means several generations. And we must realize that it is now or never. We are in a situation where we have no more time. And our future generations would actually be very unhappy and they would be cursing us for leaving this planet in a bad shape. So we need to do it now. It's a do or die situation. And we can contribute, and then, we can make a huge difference. Like I told you, in Delhi, if we have 31 million people, and if each person generates about 80 kg waste, and if I imagine at least 1/4 waste we treat, which is 20 kg per year, we can reduce 620 million waste going to the landfills. And I'm sure some of you would have read these newspaper items, where these one of the landfill sites at Ghazipur, the dumps were falling down and 2 motorists had actually died. And there are lots of fires happening because methane gas is being produced, and all these leachates are going to water and soil. So the neighboring residents are also suffering lots of health issues. So if we take responsibility and do this, we can really help. So I am making these holes in the pot so that we can have air at different levels. I am also making in the bottom of the. So I have made these holes. And as I told you, holes are very important because they will allow aeration. Because this domestic waste treatment by composting is a aerobic process. So we need air. And whenever you are doing, you can do in earthen pot, you can do in terracotta pots. In fact, if you have problems of space, you can use one on top of another. So you can have a tier of 3, 4. And better to use smaller pots in the beginning because composting will be faster. And if you keep layering the waste, sometimes if you don't add proper moisture and aeration is not proper, then it becomes too dense and decomposition slows. So if you have a smaller box like this, it is about 4 to 5 liters. It will fill maybe in 2 days. So you can at least get the results of your advantage. I was using soldering iron for making holes, but if you don't have soldering iron, you can also use drilling machine, or you can take any needle, any thick needle, heat it on the gas stove, and then pierce it into your vessel. And if you have terracotta pots or earthen pots, they are porous, so aeration will not be a problem. So now we will start the composting bin preparation. So first layer, I am going to put some soil, because soil has microorganisms. And we don't use any chemical fertilizers and pesticides. So our soil is good. We don't have any chemicals in our soil. So I have put about 1 inch layer of the soil in the bottom. And then I will be putting newspaper cuttings or tissue paper cuttings, used tissue paper cuttings. Whenever you are doing composting, please chop your waste into smaller pieces, because otherwise they will take longer to decompose. So I am just putting some of these newspaper cuttings. And since we are, following Sharan lifestyle, in fact, we are generating much less waste, because we are not peeling our vegetables. So we are wasting much less, except for maybe banana peels or citrus peels, which both we will be using today. So I have taken these banana peels. Today we kept our bananas for freezing in the deep freezer. So I had these peels. So I'm going to put these peels. This is my kitchen waste. And I will also be telling you, what to do and what not to do, and what to put and what not to put, and how to troubleshoot in case you have some difficulties. So just have patience. So then I have put my kitchen waste. Now next comes, I can put my garden waste. And I have today taken neem leaves. I think all of you are familiar with these neem leaves, because neem also has insecticidal properties, So you won't need to put any pesticides in your soil when you are growing subsequently. So I will be putting some of these leaves, only the leaves, not the twigs as of now. And then, the plants, as you know, they need carbon, they need nitrogen, they need potassium, they need phosphorus, they need several micro and macro nutrients. And major ones are, of course, NPK in addition to carbon. So I have put this layer of neem leaves. So these green and kitchen wastes are rich in nitrogen. And then, we need to top it up with browns, which are rich in carbon. So I will be actually putting some brown leaves, which I have collected from my garden. In fact, Delhi has been raining. So although I took dry leaves, but with humidity in the air, they have really become a little soggy. So now I am putting this. These are the brown leaves which I am putting, which is carbon rich. So we need to really have a balance, if you only put nitrogen, or if you only put carbon, then, there will be problem. Decomposition will not happen, or you will have odor problems. So I am putting these brown leaves. And you can compress it a bit with your hands or with a ladle. There are some grass shavings also. And then, like we make, all of us make curd at home. And when we make curd, how do we do? I mean, we make this vegan milk. We make soya milk or peanut milk or oats milk or cashew milk, depending on which curd you are making. And then we put some starter culture. So to put starter culture, either you can buy these microbe accelerators from market. But what I'm doing, like we put our own leftover curd, I am putting some compost, which I have made earlier, as one layer now. And to hasten the process, I will be also using some jaggery water. So if you are taking 20 liters of, 20 kg capacity of drum or basket, then you can put about 50 grams of jaggery, dissolve it in water, and then, put some water here. Since my box is only 4 to 5 liters, so I've just taken 12 grams jaggery. So this is the normal gur which we all use at home. So that this was about 10 to 12 grams. So I have kept it in water. I have dissolved it in water and I will be putting it. So it will give the moisture as well as it will be giving food for microbes. And microbes love jaggery. And you can see, I mean, reduce the quantity, see how much is needed. So I have put this jaggery. Why I have put, if you remember when we do the baking and when we want to raise the yeast, we put some sugar in water and then we put yeast because sugar helps the yeast to raise. So same way, the jaggery is going to help the microbes do their job. It will hasten the process. In fact, they become hyperactive because they love this. Like most of us have, we love sugar. I mean, I used to love sugar and sweets. Of course, now we use natural sweeteners. We use dates and we use figs. So that is what the microbes also love. So I have put this and then we need to cover this. Why need to cover this is because otherwise there will be insects and mosquitoes and there may be cockroaches or there may be rodents. So you need to cover, but you also need to cover with holes and you don't need a screw tight cover on this. So I will not be, I will be just putting the lid. I will not be tightening it.
So microbes also need a sugar rush, Sumanji, right?
Oh, they love sugar actually.
Yeah.
And then you are also supposed to make hole in the lid so that there will be aeration from all sides. So I have not made the hole, but I'm supposed to make it. I will keep the soldering iron again. And so once you have done this, keep it in diffuse sunlight. In summers, it takes less time. It is quicker. In winters, it will take more time. Normally, it should take about 3 months for complete composting. And it's an aerobic process. So remember to have aeration. If you don't have air, then it will be anaerobic. In the absence of oxygen, decomposition will not happen properly. And if you do not have moisture, your waste will become too dense. And you need to also stir this frequently, once or twice every 2 days, so that, the waste will not become like a clump and become like a brick, then it will not degrade. So we need to take care of all these things. Another thing which is very important when you are composting, some of these plants, some like onions or garlics have strong odor. So if you are thinking of doing vermicomposting, today we are doing composting with the help of microbes, and vermicomposting is composting with the help of earthworms. Normally they use Icena fetida to do the job. So you can produce you can put some of the earlier vermicompost or some of these earthworms. They are available in the market, and then, they're much quicker. So If you are doing vermicomposting, never put garlic or onion because they repel. Even citrus peels have strong smell, so worms do not like that. So now I'm making the hole in the lid. And I am not tightening the lid. So I'm just keeping it as a cover. Another thing which is important is you need to put some plate or cover below the box so that in case there is some leachate, that can be used to use in your pots. So you can use the leachates for watering your plants. And keep stirring your compost, and you can keep adding. If my vessel is small, so if you have a huge bucket or drum, then you can keep adding layers in the same way. Have soil first, because soil also has microorganisms. Then you have newspaper clippings. Then you have kitchen waste. Then you have garden waste. Then you have brown leaves. Then you have the compost. And then you have the jaggery water. So repeat the same process, and then you can keep, moving them with a ladle so that they don't become dense. So ideally it should happen in 3 months, but you can keep checking. Even if initially, I would suggest that if you are a beginner in composting, you should have taken smaller buckets. So take 5-liter buckets or 10-liter buckets instead of taking a 100-liter bucket or drum. So then, you will know the results of your, and it will give you a lot of pleasure. Another thing which is very important when you're doing composting and you're done with compost, your compost is ready. How do you know? Your compost will be, granular, and it will be giving earthy smell, like when you have rains and the rainwater splashes on the soil, or when you take water from an earthen pot, that kind of mitti ka smell, earthy smell. So then you know that your compost is ready. So I will be showing you some of the compost which has been done earlier. Compost. This is how the compost will look. It is soft and granular, and some of you would have seen cocoa pit, when you moisten the cocoa pit, similar kind of texture you will get in this. And it gives you very nice earthy smell. So once you are done with composting, you can put compost directly in your pots. And there is, like, most of us, I think, love tea. At least I used to love tea before I went to Sharan. Of course, I knew that it was bad and it was addicting, but still, I used to take 5, 7, 8, 10 cups of tea. So really badly addicted for tea. But when I went to Sharan, Dr. Nandita had told me no more tea, it is addicting and it has caffeine and tannins, and which is not good for you. So 3 days I suffered from terrible headache, but then finally I have given up tea, and I have not taken even a single cup of tea in last 3-4 years. So which is a major kind of achievement for me. And when you are like, we love tea, so the humans love tea, same way the plants also love tea. So we can make compost tea. How do we make compost tea? You can take 1 part of compost. You can measure, or you can weigh on the weighing scale. So if I have taken 10 grams or 20 grams, then I can put 50 grams. One part compost and 5 parts water. And then cover it. Cover it, leave it for about 10 days. And then when you want to use it, dilute it 10 times. So 1:5 when you keep it for 10 days. And then while spraying, again dilute 10 times. So if it was 10 grams, initially you started with 50 ml, you added water. So you have 60 ml, then you will be adding 6 liters of water. So then you can spray it on your plants. And since, plants of course absorb from roots from soil, but when you spray the foliar, the leaves, have much more surface area, so they will be direct absorption, and you will get profuse flowering and profuse fruiting. So that is really good. Compost tea is very good. Unlike the tea which I was taking, which was not good for me. Of course, now we take herbal tea or herbal decoction, which is, like kada. So you can take kali michi and black pepper, cinnamon, elaichi, and then cloves, and boil in water and strain the decoction and take it. So that's very good for health. Even while corona pandemic was on, all of us were advised to do this. So I have shown you how to do composting in a plastic pot, but ideally you should do it in ceramic pots or terracotta pots. And you can also put them one above the other. So if you have constraint of space, still you can, put 3 tops, one on top of each other, and one pot fills means goes to the bottom. So you can keep rotating. So that will be the best thing you will be doing. And this is like black gold, this will do so much good to your plant's health, and you won't need any chemical pesticides or chemical fertilizers. This is complete in itself. And if you don't have compost and you by chance have cow dung, then you can make a slurry out of cow dung and also use that, because cow dung is also very rich in microbes. So you have different options. If you don't have cow dung, you don't have earlier compost, you don't have microbial accelerator cultures, you can still do it if you have curd in your house. So you can make chach, dilute the curd, because curd also has all these beneficial microorganisms which will do the job for you. So there are several alternatives and there is no excuse for not doing it. So I just want to check with how much means actually when you do gardening, you don't worry so much about, the quantity. Even if you put 20, 30, 40 ml, it's all right. Only thing is moisture content you have to keep in mind. So it should be like damp sponge. It should be damp, but not wet. So just keep that in mind. So accordingly, you adjust the quantity of curd and water. Otherwise, 5-10 ml this way, that way won't really affect. And if you are doing in a pit, please cover your pit, because otherwise rainwater will keep seeping, and then they will be rotting and there will be flies and insects. So which is not what we are looking for. So we want to do it in an environment friendly way, and there is no odor in the composting. So people can sit next to the compost pit and eat. It is as good as that. If the ratio of greens and browns is maintained properly and the microbes are flourishing, then they do this job. They are the best odor removers and they are the best decomposers. So we don't have to worry. They will do their own job. You can make holes. I mean, in the bottom you can make one hole, but you don't need to make holes in the surface of terracotta because they are porous. Even in earthen pots, we don't need to make any holes. Only in the bottom you can make hole. So you can make hole with a screwdriver. It's easy. We do for our pots. We do gardening in earthen pots. So we are doing it regularly. It can be done. Cow urine, I've never seen, being used for composting, but it should be good. It should be good. But cow dung is extremely good. So now we have done composting and also learned how to make compost tea. So how many people will be doing it now? Can I just request you to raise your hands or write in chat box?
Definitely, Sumanji, you have like a pro composter like you have armed us with a lot of good pro tips also. Oh, we have KR, Poonam, everyone, Anu definitely will try. Yes.
Oh,
the trial and error. Yes.
I'm so happy. I mean, even if 5-10 people do, we have to see how much burden we are reducing on the planet Earth, and our future generations will be blessing us. I mean, that's the best we can do. We try to make investments for them. We try to, do everything else for them, but we don't worry that, if the planet is not surviving a healthy life, and if there are pandemics happening often, and then this climate change is there, global warming is there, there are floods, and then there is no use your investments if people are not healthy. because the climate change is directly affecting our health also. So we will be doing a great blessing to the, not only to the present generation, but also to the future generations. Okay, so one topic is covered for the day. Next topic which we will be doing today is how to prepare bioenzymes. So why, we need to prepare bioenzymes? Have you ever realized that in addition to the food we consume, which may have these fertilizers, pesticides, weedicides, herbicides, and ripening agents, where else are we consuming chemicals? So would you like to tell us? From water, because in soil,
Yes.
underground water,
Yes,
all the
Zenia.
leachates are leaching.
Veggies, cosmetics.
Yes. So you start your day with a toothpaste.
Washing liquids, cleaning liquids. Yes, our house care products, soap, personal care, skin products. Definitely, yes.
Amazing. So even our toothpaste, the first thing which we put in our mouth has lots of chemicals. Everything, right from your shampoo to your moisturizer to your shaving cream to your Vaseline or everything has chemicals. So can we reduce the load of chemicals in our body as well as in the water and soil? So we can contribute our bit. So I will be showing you how to make bioenzyme. So what we need for bioenzyme, we need some citrus peels. Citrus means lemon or mosmi or orange or malta, any of these peels. And we need some jaggery and water and a bottle. That's all, these 4 ingredients. And we will be taking them in ratio of 1:3:10. So 1 part is jaggery, 3 parts is citrus peels, and 10 parts is water. And that's all. The microbes will do the job. Like I told you, in this composting, we are doing aerobic fermentation. So we need air. But in bioenzymes, we do not need air. So we just need water, citrus peels, and jaggery and a bottle. And please do not use glass bottle, because there can be explosion, because there will be gases being generated. So I will be showing how we are going to do this. And these bioenzymes are like miraculous one-stop solution for all your cleaning agents. They can be your dishwash, they can be your floor cleaners, they can be your drain decloggers and anti-mosquito repellents, and of course a very good fertilizer and pesticide for your garden, for your pots and soil. And so we will be doing this. So I am taking a balance weighing scale, and I will be measuring 1 part of jaggery and 3 parts of citrus peels. So the scale is on 0. So I'm measuring. It is 101 grams. So I'm putting this 100 grams of jaggery in this plastic bottle. And I have these citrus peels in a polythene bag, which is 300 grams. So I will be chopping this into smaller pieces for a quicker action.
So Sumanji, these are the enzymes and they will help us get the stains off also from any surfaces.
Yes. In fact, you have 4 kinds of enzymes here. You will have cellulases, you will have proteases, you will have lipases, and you will have amylases. So they will be breaking down proteins, they will be breaking, lipase will be breaking down fats, amylase will be breaking down starch. So cellulase will be breaking down cellulose. So you can remove stains, you can use as, cleaning agent, floor cleaning agent, like people were using phenyl. Even I was using phenyl earlier. And we use dishwash. So this can be, if you put a little Rita solution as a detergent along with this bioenzyme, you can use for dishwash, and you can use for your pot cleanings and declogging your drain. So it's like a miraculous multi kind of functions. So I have put that.
Actually the same job, but using these natural products, right?
Yes, so they are not harmful. In fact, they are good. They will be treating water once you are putting in your wash basin to clean. The remaining solution will be cleaning the water also. Not only cleaning your sink or cleaning your pot, but also cleaning the water. So I am putting this 300 grams of citrus peels. Normally, they advise you to take citrus peels or pineapple peels, but some people do it with fruits and vegetable peels also. But the smell or aroma of citrus peels is very good. So it's like room freshener, when you use it. So I have put this 300 grams, and now I will be adding 1 liter of water. So 1:3:10. And whenever you are doing bioenzymes, never fill your bottle to the brim, because you have to leave the space for oxygen or gases to, accumulate, and never use glass bottles because there will be explosion. So there should always be space.
Right.
So don't fill it to the brim, and then you can screw tight the lid. In composting, I did not screw tight the lid because you just need to cover so that mosquitoes, flies, and rodents and other insects are not there. But in this, we are doing anaerobic fermentation in the absence of oxygen. So there are different microbes. Some microbes like oxygen, some microbes don't like the oxygen. So here we don't need any oxygen. Only once in a while, initially first week, you will unscrew the lid every day. After first week, you can do it every 3rd day. And after a fortnight, you can do it, once in 10 days. And if you want to expedite, if you leave it like this, it will happen in 3 months. But if you want to do it quickly, so like we do yeast, addition of yeast in our products when we do baking. So you can add some yeast. So I am going to add some yeast granules. Yeast is basically one kind of fungi. So if I'm going to add this yeast on top, I have added about 3 to 5 grams, and then leave it and put the date on the lid, which I have already done, 19 October 2021. So you will open the lid every day. Initially, first week, open the lid, let the gases escape, again screw the lid. And when you put yeast, it will happen in 1 month. If you don't put yeast, it will happen in 3 months. Right now, I hadn't started this year bioenzyme preparation because I did last year, and I had at least 10-12 bottles still with me. So I will show you how a bioenzyme looks. So this is how the bioenzyme looks. After 1 month, if you have put yeast, or after 3 months, you strain and remove the liquid and store in bottles. And the citrus peels, the digested citrus peels, you can put in your composting bin if you are not doing vermicompost. If you are doing vermicompost, I told you, citrus peels odor is not liked by the worms. So garlic, citrus, and onion don't add in vermicompost bins. If you're doing general composting by microbes, you can do. Yes, you can use any yeast, because a yeast is basically, a fungus which aids in decomposition. And like I told you, the microbes are doing here the job, and these 4 enzymes will be there: amylase, lipase, and cellulase. So these will be degrading. These will be doing all the job, and the smell is, the aroma is very good. And you can reduce, I mean, it's also economical, because just except for the jaggery, everything does not cost. Citrus peels you have. In fact, I made so much, I gave to my mother, to my sister. So the whole year I haven't bought phenyl. So apart from being economical, it is also environment friendly. So I have at least reduced my, carbon footprint, which Shalini started. So I'm really thankful to all of you for your patience. So this has been a great journey. And now I think it is our part to do our bit and try to, inspire others and motivate others to do certain things which we have learned by experimenting. So basically, I'm a scientist by background. So I like to experiment, and only after, my experiment is successful and is repeatable and replicable, then only I want to share with others. So this has been standardized and I have been doing it. Bioenzyme will get ready in 1 month if you are using yeast. If you do not have yeast and if you have been doing it, then last batches citrus peels, a few citrus peels you add. That will also add like a culture of, curd we put for making curd. So that will also hasten the process. In fact, I just used yeast today for the first batch. Subsequently, I will be putting a few citrus peels from the last batch in my subsequent batches. So you don't need to even put yeast. You can actually collect your citrus peels, because you may not get 300 grams citrus peels in one day. So you can put them in fridge. I have never tried with dry citrus peels, so I can't really say. I have always used fresh citrus peels, just kept them in fridge. In 2-3 days when I'm ready with 300 grams, I put in one bottle and put the date, and it's just opening the bottle once a day. I mean, it's nothing else. So it is amazing. And these microbes are also producing this ethanol and acetic acid or citric acid in this. So this acts like a, vinegar. We all used vinegar as a cleaning agent. So in this, you don't have to do anything. Both alcohol and citric acid or acetic acid are cleaning agents. So in addition to the enzymes, these cleaning agents are also produced by degradation of jaggery. So your job is done. So it is like a one-stop solution for all your cleaning needs. So I hope some of you will be able to do this, and
Definitely.
Mother Earth will be happier. I mean, for all of us being sensitive to the needs. Never put cooked food, never put uh, weeds in your composting bin or composting pits, because otherwise you will be multiplying. Weeds are highly resistant varieties. They will grow even if they will compete for the nutrients. So never put weeds in your kitchen composting pit. Never put cooked foods, because there will be odor formation. They will be attracting insects and mosquitoes. So that should never be done. And never put any meat or any bones of fish and stuff like that. So no cooked food goes into the bin. Only the peels of vegetables and fruits. Since we don't peel our vegetables, we don't have much peels, except for I have still not gotten used to use potato without peels. So sometimes when I'm using potato, then peels may be there. At least for baked potatoes, I don't peel, but for making veggies, I peel potatoes or this arbi. But all other veggies we are using without peels. Cooked food you can, put in the dustbin, but not in the compost bin. And in fact, this is another major problem, that several of us waste a lot of food. And when we have so many people going hungry to bed, so there are some food banks. And so if we are organizing some parties and you have some extra food, So please call some of these people from food banks and they will come and take it. So you don't have to really do anything except making a call, because it is criminal when you have people going hungry to bed and we are wasting our food. So please make food as much as you can consume. Don't make it. Yes, you can put puja flowers. The neem leaves I used were green, fresh green leaves. See, neem has a lot of insecticidal properties. So when you put neem, you will not need to put, otherwise you are sometimes in the potting mix, when I showed you in the last class, we put neem khali along with the coco peat and soil and compost. So if you are using neem leaves in your compost, you will not have to put neem khali. So it is like, one solution for all your fertilizer and pesticide problems.
Yeah, we can have a quick revision. Yeah, some people really want the
Okay,
steps.
okay.
Single liner steps. Yeah.
Steps in the composting were, first you make holes because you need aeration, and then you need green waste, you need brown waste, and you need some compost and soil and newspaper clippings, paper clippings. Some people also put cardboard boxes in the composting bin, but of late we have realized that these cardboard boxes which we get from Amazon are lined with some chemicals. So they are not good, then the chemicals will be entering your food chain. So we've stopped using cardboards. So first layer after making holes, put 1 inch of soil, because soil has microbes. Then you put your kitchen waste, which I put banana peels today. And then you put green leaves of neem. I put green leaves of neem. Then I put brown garden leaves. Brown leaves from my garden. Then I put some earlier compost. And then I put jaggery dissolved in water, so that it will hasten the composting process. And ideally it should take you 3 months, but it can be quicker depending on the season, the climate of the place where you stay. In Mumbai, maybe it will be quicker. In Delhi, in winters, it will take longer. And when we did the bioenzyme, we took citrus peels, any citrus you can take, nimbu, santra, mosmi, malta, and then we took jaggery and we took water, and we took in ratio 1:3:10. 1 portion is jaggery, 3 portions is citrus peels, and 10 portions is water. And then leave it in a plastic bottle and close the lid. And every day open the lid initially, and after 1 week, 2 weeks, you can open once in 2-3 days. And if you want to expedite the process, either put citrus peels from the last batch of bioenzyme preparation, or put some yeast granules. So this is optional. If you use yeast or if you use citrus peels from last batch, it will take 1 month. Otherwise, it will take 3 months. So that's it.
And we just by reducing doing our carbon footprint through this composting and bioenzyme, and a pro composter like Sumanji, she has given us so much of information, and I'm sure all of us with trial and error are going to do it. Yes. And I invite each and every one of you to reduce that food waste by composting your food scraps and organic kitchen waste, definitely. So let's all, take a vow today to, challenge together to turn our daily action of composting into a new habit. Let's all do it. So I thank each one of you for attending our session. And if you have any suggestions that will help us improve, please send us an email on office@shradan-india.org or WhatsApp on 9769117747. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and definitely we will wait for your feedback, and let's all come together and not even just make our bodies healthy. We must make our planet healthy too, and not leave much carbon footprint. And as you said, Sumanji rightly said, Dr. Nanda has taught us how to make our bodies healthy. Sumanji has given us an extra tip to make how the planet more healthier, reducing the carbon footprint through composting and bioenzyme. And definitely, Sumanji, we all are looking forward for more sessions like this. You must enlighten us more on this. Definitely very enlightening to all of us. Thank you so much.